Well, unfortunately, what we feared was going to happen has happened. So if you have an upcoming Carnival cruise scheduled here in the next few months, or heck, here in just the next few weeks, you're going to want to pay attention to this video and get your masks ready to go. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to this breaking cruise news. So Carnival Cruise Lines has announced today that starting on August the 7th, masks will be required for all passengers while they are in indoor spaces on board the ship. That's vaccinated and unvaccinated both. So masks are back aboard Carnival cruise ships, and this is for all U.S. sailings and for all guests over the age of 2. Now, starting on August the 14th, you're going to have to provide a negative COVID-19 test taken 3 days prior to sailing, prior to boarding the ship as well for all U.S. sailings. Now, anybody that has a sailing already booked here in the next couple of weeks, Carnival Cruise Lines has sent out an email informing you of these policy changes. Since I do have one coming up here in September, I have received that email today, and I'm going to go ahead and share that email with you here. All right, so it's an important update on testing and mask requirements. Dated August the 4th. All right, we look forward to welcoming you on board your upcoming cruise. Carnival's restart of cruising from the U.S. last month has been successful. Our guests and crew are excited to be sailing again, and more ships are returning to service over the coming weeks. As always, our primary commitment is to the health, safety, and well-being of our guests, crew, and the communities where we bring our ships. We will continue to operate vaccinated cruises as defined by the CDC, including having our crew fully vaccinated. In an abundance of caution, and in response to the increasing number of cases of COVID-19 in the U.S. caused by the Delta variant, we are updating our protocols and requirements. We expect these measures will be temporary, and we will adjust the protocols based on the advice of our medical and public health advisors. Please carefully review the information below regarding new temporary testing requirements. Okay, so effective with cruises departing on Saturday, August the 14th, 2021, we will require all fully vaccinated guests to produce a negative viral COVID-19 test, PCR or antigen, taken within 3 days of their embarkation on all Carnival Cruise Line sailings. Guests who are unvaccinated will continue to follow the requirements already communicated and as detailed below. Fully vaccinated guests will be required to provide proof of a negative COVID-19 test along with proof of full vaccination upon arrival in the terminal and can then proceed on board. Please note that testing in the terminal will not be available for vaccinated guests, so it is critical that you have your negative test results with you upon arrival. We will not be able to accommodate guests without proof of a negative test. Please check our Have Fun, Be Safe protocols at carnival.com for further details on testing requirements. Guests who are not fully vaccinated are still required to show the negative results of a PCR test taken between 72 and 24 hours prior to the sailing date, and will be tested again in the terminal prior to boarding the ship, and again within 24 hours of disembarkation for itineraries of 5 days or longer. Unvaccinated guests approved for an exemption will continue to be charged $150 per person for testing, reporting, and health safety screenings, and must also provide proof of travel insurance if departing from the states of Florida or Texas. Children under 2 are exempt from testing requirements. In addition to testing requirements, we are also making adjustments to our onboard mask policy, effective with cruises beginning this Saturday, August the 7th, 2021, as follows. First, we strongly encourage all guests to wear face masks when indoors, particularly guests who are unvaccinated, including children under the age of 12, who should wear the mask in public areas except when eating or drinking. All guests age 2 or older will be required to wear face masks in elevators and in designated indoor entertainment areas, all retail shops, and in the casino, except when eating or drinking. Guests will be required to wear face masks prior to being seated in our main dining rooms and in the Lido buffet area, and occasionally in other designated areas where a large number of guests may congregate. As a reminder, masks are being required during embark and debark in the terminal, and masks should also be worn during the debarkation process on board. These new requirements are being implemented to protect our guests and crew while on board. Several destinations have implemented their own requirements, and all guests will be required to follow the protocols in each destination we visit. As stated above, we expect these requirements will be temporary, and we appreciate your cooperation and look forward to welcoming you on board. Sincerely, Christine Duffy, President, Carnival Cruise Lines. All right, so there it is, directly from the boss lady herself, the new masking and testing requirements for Carnival Cruise Lines. Now, she did say these are supposed to be temporary requirements, but as we all know, that is really going to be dependent on what is going on with COVID-19, the rising cases, and the Delta variant. So temporary could be a month, 2 months, 6 months, or even up to a year or more, depending on what is really going on in the world. But for those of us that were hoping to get on our Carnival cruise ship and not wear masks, it looks like those hopes are now officially dashed, at least here for the next couple of weeks. Now, this, of course, is not the news we wanted to hear. It's definitely not the news I wanted to hear. Now, it is not going to stop me from getting on my cruise in September. I have waited too long to not go over a simple masking requirement. And yes, I'm going to have to get a test 3 days ahead of time. I'm going to have to do what we're going to have to do. If you want to cruise, these are going to be the requirements. These are just what we're going to have to do for now in order to get back on these cruise ships. I said this has already started with Royal Caribbean. This has already started with Celebrity Cruise Lines. And in the last couple of videos where we've been talking about this, I kind of wondered if we were going to start to see these requirements move across the different cruise lines, if we were going to see this testing requirement come to Carnival, and if we were going to see any changes in the masking policy come to Carnival. I really wish I had been wrong in predicting that this could very well happen. Unfortunately, it has, and it's just what we're going to have to live with. All right, so let me know in the comments below, what do you think? What is your opinion on these new cruise policies? Do you think they're good? Do you think they're bad? Do you think they're going to help? Or do you think they're not going to make a difference whatsoever, that COVID could still spread and rise across the cruise ships? All right, I hope you have enjoyed this quick breaking cruise news. If you have, give me some thumbs up. Have yourself a great day, and we will see you out on the high seas just behind the mask.